Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today I've got a very special first look for you guys. We are going to be taking a look at the brand new beasts of the Mesozoic Raptor series Build-A-Raptor set. So, if you guys have not yet heard of the beasts of the Mesozoic line coming from Creative Beast, let me give you a little bit of information. This started as a Kickstarter project. It was successfully backed, and this is basically going to give us a new line of fully articulated, scientifically accurate 6-inch scale dinosaur action figures. Holy cow! And come on, who doesn't love dinosaurs? I was stoked when I saw this idea. I thought it was such a cool idea to get some really cool, really nicely detailed, cool articulated dinosaurs that fit in with all of my action figures. So there are a ton of different options that were available in the Kickstarter. All of the fully painted dinosaurs look absolutely incredible. There's so many different options, several different versions of a raptor, all with different paint deco, different parts. Very, very cool looking. But one of the other things that was offered in that Kickstarter is this Build-A-Raptor set. And this is actually the first thing that's hitting right now. These came in first, so the folks that got these, they're going to be shipping soon. But Dave Silva, the man behind Creative Beast and the Beast of the Mesozoic line, was nice enough to send along this first sample so that we can unbox it here today and we can get a close look at it. So essentially what we've got here is just an unpainted version of the Raptor. Now this comes with several parts. As you can see, it's the Build-A-Raptor Set A. Comes with parts to build 6 different Raptors. It does note on there, paint and primer not included, some assembly required. And on the list of parts breaks down on the back here, you'll notice that it does require glue in some spots. So this really is supposed to be a kit so that you can build whatever Raptor you want and you can paint it up, you can make whatever style that you want on your own. So this is really cool for the do-it-yourself folks, but this is going to be awesome for us because it's really going to give us a chance to take a look at this figure and get a look at how the articulation and the sculpting and all of that looks before the final figure ship, which is really exciting. So you can see some of the different Raptors here on the back, all the different styles, which is very cool. So here, let's go ahead and open up this box, shall we? Let's pull the lid off this thing, get a good look at what's inside here. Oh, check that out. All of our different Raptor parts there. Absolutely beautiful. So, man, that is gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some of these pieces out here, and we'll go ahead and do some assembly. Here, let me just grab this tail out real quick, just so we can see how it is. So you can see the ball joint back here. So we should be able to hopefully just pop this. Oh, yeah, very easy. Look at that. Nicely fits over the ball joint there so we can get it assembled. And there's our Raptor. And we'll take a closer look at the articulation here in just a bit. So let me go and get some of these pieces out, and then we will get a closer look. All right, so here we go. Out of the box, I've got them kind of set up here. You'll notice we got a cool little base that comes with this guy. So it's the same. It's all unpainted on this guy. There's a nice little clear rod. You can see he just kind of rests on this rod there, which is really nice, and you can see he balances really, really well with that, so that way you can get him in some great poses, some running stuff. I will say it does look like you need that base in order to keep him standing. The toes on this one are pretty loose. Now the rest of the joints all seem nice and tight, but I did notice that the feet are a little loose and it was kind of hard. I was trying to balance them a little bit and I really was having a hard time doing that. So the base definitely helps you keep these guys up, but it's cool because you can get some cool running poses and everything too, like you can see on the box there. And there's an extra little rod that is included, so if you want to instead pop this out, you can see the rod is also ball jointed, which is cool, and you can even ball joint at the top there, so it's really nice and flexible. But we can put in this larger one here, and we can reattach this to the top piece here. So this is the jumping rod. So you can actually balance your Raptor up there, and we can get some jumping poses. I'll try to do that and get a good picture here that we can put in. So that's really cool that we've got the options to switch that up, pose them around. I do like the base quite a bit. So I got him standing in the base. He's kind of in this little running pose here, but you can see that the figure is just over 4 inches standing from the ground, and you can see lengthwise, look at that, from head to tail, he is a full 12 inches. So this guy looks pretty awesome. Great scale on this dude. And you can see there's lots of articulation that we're going to look at here in just a bit, but great sculpt too. And one of the things I want to point out, you'll see that the inside of the box here actually shows you how you can take the figure apart at all the different joints. It also does kind of warn you that you shouldn't separate the knee joints or the shoulder joints, but he is meant to come apart pretty much everywhere else. Look at that, at the neck peg, you can take the jaw off, you can take the hands off, the toes, because there are all these little pieces in here that are going to allow you to create all these different types of raptors if you want to do that. So I mean, you got everything from these little toes, look at that, couple different toes here, couple different toe claws, so that we can create the different types of raptors. You got some different like neck frills and ruffles there. We've got a few different size tails, which are very cool. And of course, we've got all these different heads, which are for all the different style types. Now you'll notice this one doesn't have the jaw in, this one does. The jaws will actually just pop out and plug right into there. And there's even interchangeable tongues. Like this one doesn't have the tongue in there. That's because the tongue is in the actual one I've got set up right here. The tongue is articulated. I'll show you that in just a bit too. So each of these are slightly different in sculpt, and you can really see all the great details there. Some of them have the bigger ruffles on the neck. Some of them are a lot smoother, but they're all slightly different from one another. That allows you to build these different raptors. So the one that we've already got put together here, let's go ahead and get in here and take a really, really good look at this guy. So the sculpt is fantastic. I love these. And these are going to look even better when they're fully painted, which I cannot wait for. But even unpainted, you can see how great all of the sculpt work is in there. All the great feathers seen on these raptors, all the way down to the feather, like wing-like hands there, which is very, very cool. But look at the talons underneath, which I really love. All the way down the legs. They've got these great little, like the raptor toes, look at that. And they're separately articulated too, so you can actually move those up and down there, which is very nice. I actually just popped the toes right off the joint there, so I'll pick those up in a second. But great sculpting all the way down. Love the tail and the way it fans out there. It's very, very cool. So really, these guys are incredible here. And I told you about the mouth too. Let me show you this. You can open up the mouth. The teeth in here, I was impressed with how sharp the teeth sculpts are, which is very cool. And then there's your tongue. Look at that. And the tongue is ball jointed. You can actually move this around on the inside, which is so, so incredibly cool. So that's going to really allow you to get some very neat poses with him. So let's talk about all that articulation. The neck is ball jointed up here, so look at that. You can roll that all the way around, which is very nice. And of course, that's where it's going to pop off, right up there at the neck if you want to do that. So these pieces right here, these are like your extra frills. So if you want to, like, you know, change them to the other pieces, they're like these extra pieces that are over the joint. So they're flexible too. They move around. Great range of motion there. You can see again, right here at the base of the neck, we got another joint, so it rolls around there, which is very nice. This allows you to get a really good range of movement. Look at how you could turn that head left, right, down, up, sideways. I mean, this has got a great range of motion, which is something that you would definitely want out of a dinosaur toy like this. I love it. The shoulder joints there, you kind of got your hinge-like ball joints, you can see. So the shoulders will allow you to move the arms up and down, inwards, outwards, really nice motion there. You do just have a joint at the elbow that kind of makes them just move up and down. And then it does look like the hands themselves, they're individually jointed there. So those kind of just roll up and down as well. The feathers on the hands are a little more flexible. You can see it's more of a pliable plastic, so it kind of flexes around there. And they move individually as well with the hands. So those are the pieces that you can pop off and interchange with some of these larger feathers in this particular set if you want to. This is also the thing that says glue is required. So you'll actually want to pop those out. You'll glue these new ones in if you want to change them out there. So very cool there. You can see down here at what would be his waist, he does have another joint. This allows it basically to kind of roll around there. So you can roll his body all the way around. It doesn't really turn too much, but, you know, works the way that it would work on an actual raptor body there. You got the ball joints at the back legs there. So the legs can move forwards, backwards. They can also roll in and out, which is really, really nice there. And those are nice and tight up here at these joints. You can see great movement there. He does have knee joints. And again, the knee joints here, nice tight joints. And look at that, ball jointed. I love it. So you can swivel the knees, you can bend the knees. Very, very nice joints there. And then again down here, where the leg bends, just kind of a nice little a simple joint there, basically like an old elbow joint. You can see where it just moves forwards and backwards, and then that brings you down to the toes, which, like I showed you, individually articulated. So the big toe right here can move independently on its own away from the other toes. These are the ones that I felt were a little loose, so it's a little hard to get them standing. You can see where it's kind of flat on the bottom where you would want him standing, but those do kind of flex a little too much, but that is definitely where the base with the little rod helps to keep these guys standing. And then again, more articulation down here at the tail where it's jointed 2 times. This right here, of course, is where we attach the tail right there on the ball joint. So that allows you to flex the tail all the way around. So the articulation, really nice on this guy. Actually very tight all the way through except for the toes where I already mentioned. But this should be really cool, allowing you to pose these guys around and get some very cool different poses out of them. Okay, so let me show you guys how some of the interchangeability works. I've talked about it, but I haven't really shown you much of it yet. If you've ever had a figure that's got interchangeable pieces, this is actually pretty simple for you. So if we wanted to take one of these different heads, I don't know, I like this head. Let's go ahead and swap this head out. So it's very easy. You could basically just take the head right here and it just pops right off the ball joint. And see, then if I wanted to, I can remove this extra neck piece. And you know, if in its place I wanted to pop this extra piece on here, I could do that. So here, let's see if I want to do that. Look at that. We got the extra kind of longer feathers hanging down now, which is very cool. So the jaw, just give it a nice little wiggle here at the bottom of the jaw, and that'll remove it. It's just a little peg that plugs into the back of the mouth there. And the tongue here is on a little ball joint too, so we should be able to pop that out as well. Hopefully that's pretty easy to do. This is a bit of a, there you go, yeah, I popped it out. So this is pliable like the rest of the wings, so I was a little worried that I might feel it kind of tearing because it's so soft, but I didn't. It actually popped right out of there, so you just get a nice grip on there. You can pry it right out of the little slot in there. So then, well, that was if I wanted to actually switch to another jaw. So you can see, like, I've got this other head over here that's got the different bottom jaw. So if I wanted to use that one, that's why I would pop the tongue out. But if you're not going to switch, that actually works good. We can just leave it right there. Look at that. It went right back in. Very cool. You'll notice there's a little bit of flaking off here too, kind of like that primer white there that's flaking off a little bit. So these are definitely probably meant to be put together and built the way you want to, and then, you know, paint them up if you want to do it. All right, so this is my first time attaching the jaw to this one. It looks like you need some pressure there to pop it in. Oh yeah, look at that. Boom. So we got ourselves a new raptor head now, jaw and tongue intact. Should be able to pop it right here on the ball joint. Boom, look at that. Now I've created myself a different look for this raptor. I think he's got the longer feathers on the neck, the longer kind of ruffled feathers on the head. That is pretty cool. And of course, they all have proper names. There's proper ways you're supposed to match up the parts, but you know what? This is a Build-A-Raptor set, so technically, you can do whatever you want here. You could build whatever kind of raptor monstrosity you want to. So that's part of the fun of a Build-A-Figure set. You can create your own different raptors. Okay, the last thing I want to do is a little bit of a scale test, just so you guys can see exactly how the raptor measures up. So there we go. There's a Marvel Legends Thor. There's a Masters of the Universe Classic Skeletor. There's oh, definitely Dinosaurs Caveman. Yeah, that's a good thing to put in here with this. And Spider Blue. 5-inch figure here, Spider Blue. So 5-inch figure, 6-inch figure. These guys are a little closer to 7 inches. This guy down here is, you know, nice and short, probably 2.5 inches there. But there, that's how you can see how the Raptor measures up with some of your different action figures. Like I said, the Raptors themselves are supposed to be right in scale with your 6-inch toys, so your 6-inch action figure. So this should be like a life-size Raptor to Thor here, basically. And I think that looks really incredible. I'm pretty excited about this line, guys. I think it's really, really well done. The sculpt on this is incredible. The articulation is really nice. This Build-A-Raptor set's going to be a lot of fun for folks who are a little bit more crafty and want to build and combine these things. But I'm definitely a lot more excited for the actual figures themselves now. As if I wasn't already excited enough about the concept, getting this guy in hand is really great. I think he feels nice and solid. The articulation is really good, maybe with the exception of the toes down here, but I don't know if it's going to be that way across the board. But like I said, this display base is really nice. Definitely helps with the posing. These guys are going to look super fierce, really awesome on your shelf if this is something that you are interested in. So once again, I want to send out a massive thanks to Dave Silva over at Creative Beast for sending this along so we can get a good look at this guy outside of the box, kind of mess around with the articulation, get a good hands-on look at what to expect from the beasts of the Mesozoic line. Some of these figures are still available for pre-order, so if you guys want to go and pre-order some if you haven't already, already, I'll put the link in this video description. Also, you should check out Creative Beast on Facebook. Follow him there. That way you can check out all of the updates. Dave is really great about keeping everybody updated on the process, on the production of these figures. He's also been even kind of teasing some of the things he wants to work on in the future for this line, so definitely give it a follow. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this particular line, if you're going to buy any of them. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of my reviews. Until next time, my friends.